Christina Heideck with PTO Answers, and today we are going to be talking all about how to be the very best PTO membership chair for your group. So I'm super excited to be talking with you about this week. You know, I'm always really enthusiastic about this because I consider myself to be like an ultimate PTO nerd. And if you're watching this, I bet you fall under that category too. So, so glad to have you joining me. If this is the first time that you're joining me, I'd like to give you a little shout out in the, or give you a shout out. So let me know in the comments. If you're returning, I want to give you an even better or a bigger shout out. So also let me know that in the comments. And oh, let's see. I have a whole bunch of new little things popping up here. So let me get this all adjusted and let me see if I can get comments up here. No. All right. Awesome. I told you last week I was trying something new, trying something slightly even different when, yeah, trying something even more new, I guess. So, have to turn off my notifications. There's so much going on with this new, situation here. So, okay. So the reason I wanted to be talking to you about this is because, like I mentioned a couple weeks ago, well, I've mentioned this more than once, but you know, this school year has kind of majorly sucked for so many reasons, and it has thrown all of us off our games as PTO leaders. And so I just wanted, I just want to help you make the most of this time. Because even though it is kind of sucky that we cannot be in school, we cannot be doing the programs that we really want to be doing, the kids are missing out on some really fun programs that we normally do. But you know, there's nothing we can do about that. But what we can do is get prepared for next year. And I really think that next year is going to be a really fantastic opportunity for us to kind of have our groups be reborn and have more enthusiasm and more involvement, because I really think that this has been not a watershed moment. I need to come up with like a better term, but like I think it's like really huge. Like this is hopefully this pandemic is a once in a lifetime you know, kind of issue that we have to be dealing with. So let's all knock on wood collectively to make sure that it that comes true. But I think that people are going to be recognizing what the loss has been, and so they're going to want to get involved, and they're going to kind of want to make it up to their kids. I know that my boys will each have spent one will have one pandemic birthday. My oldest just turned 16, and a 16-year-old pandemic birthday is kind of crappy, but he was a real trooper about it, so it was all good. But my 13-year-old, or my to-be 13-year-old, he's going to have two pandemic birthdays, and that really blows. You're 12 and 13. So I know I'm going to be going above and beyond next year to make sure that I kind of make it up to him and his classmates. Because quite honestly, I ran into one of his classmates. I didn't know he was a classmate at Home Depot, and I started chatting him up. And I don't normally chat up 12-year-olds, but he was just positioned right where I was looking at something. And so I thought, oh, he looked really bored. And so I was chatting him up, and sure enough, he knew my son, and it was a nice conversation. But he was really bored too. And he was saying how, you know, being at home really stank, and he was anxious to be back in school and back to kind of something normal. So anyway, I just kind of like really want to make it up to everybody next year. And so I know I'm not going to be the only one. You are going to have parents in your community who are feeling the same way, that this year like really blew, and that they kind of like want to get back into it. And I know you might be thinking, yeah, parents might like have enjoyed the break like a lot, and they might not want to deal with it. And then I think that's like a signal to you, if you're even worried about that, that you might need to make some adjustments. So definitely keep watching this video. I'm going to talk about some things you can do. And then this until we're out of this, and until I don't see a need to be talking about this, I'm going to continue to give you tips about what you can do to improve your PTO to become more attractive to parents, so that there isn't a hesitation to get involved, and they're not looking at like, oh, I'm just going to opt out of PTO because it doesn't really matter. Like, it does matter. We do great things for our kids, and it's just another way to advocate for your kids. So enough on that, and let's dive into the topic at hand. And it's how to be the very best PTO membership chair. And I gotta tell you, I actually really enjoy being the membership chair. It's a role that I filled a couple different times at a couple different schools. In fact, this year I'm currently membership chair at the high school for our PTSA, and it was a much easier job this year, I will admit, because I could just distribute things electronically, and the expectations were much lower. But normally as you know, I'm a chatty Cathy, and I love to meet new people. And so the opportunity to stand at a table and like kind of tease passersby, nicely tease, because I just I'm really good at getting people to feel like they're going to be missing out, because my enthusiasm for all things PTO is rather contagious. And so I think I shared this with you before, but I'm like pretty good at getting people who are kind of on the fence, or maybe even pretty reserved about being involved. Once I approach them as a real person and let them know that I'm not interested in just growing the PTA or PTO for just like number's sake, but like I really want their involvement, and that they can have an impact on making their children's lives better and the school community better, then I mean, how can you say no to that when it's like just drilled in, just and so personal and personable, I guess. So the first thing that you need to do when you are the PTO membership chair is to know your responsibilities. And so know that you are tasked with getting new members, but that doesn't mean just parents. And like, you definitely should not be ignoring the staff members. And I would certainly extend an invitation to be involved for all staff. So custodians, the office administrators, teachers, principals, everybody. Like, make sure that you are asking for their involvement in a genuine way, and they will appreciate it, because it's not the parent organization. Like, most of our groups are parent-teacher partnerships, and you really cannot, well, I guess you can get stuff done, but I'm going to tell you, when I've had teachers that are like all in and helping, it makes such for like a better year. One of my very good friends, we don't even talk a lot, but like I know I could count on her for anything. She was the the teacher representative on the PTA my first year as president. And we really hit it off well. And I always knew I could go to Carly if I needed something. And to this day, when I still need something, even though I don't have kids at the school where she's teaching anymore, I still ask her for things, and she still asks me for things. And it's just really nice to have that friendship that's really that blossomed out of just a kind of a business relationship through PTA. But anyway, so that's just my pitch for like, make sure you're including teachers. Like, you should not be, or I should say, you should actively be seeking their involvement, because when they are true partners in this, great things happen. And if teachers aren't on board, let me tell you, they can dig their heels in and make things so much harder for you. And it's counterproductive, and it's not a good thing. So just don't even go there. So I'm just going to say that. So just look for their active involvement, and be open and welcoming to them. All right. The next thing you need to do as your PTO membership chair is to make a plan. Like, how exactly are you going to be getting new members? Are you going to just send home flyers? I'm going to tell you, outside of this year, like in a normal year, that's not going to cut it. You're going to have to figure out and identify opportunities where it's going to make sense for you to ask for people's involvement. So just off the top of my head, some of those activities are going to be like new family orientations, open houses, even parent-teacher conference nights. Time is tight, so you want to have, like on that night, so you want to have information that people can grab and go, but you want it to be engaging. You want it to not just be like a sheet of words. Like, who wants to like look at a flyer that is like plastered with words? That's just like a lot. It's not very approachable. So any summer gatherings, and even actually starting this year with end of school events, see if you can like any of the graduations. If you are, you can go to the lower school and maybe pass out information about your PTO that's at the next school up. So just think of opportunities like that. And basically, in a normal year, I would staff or man or put together some kind of information for people to take at any PTO sponsored event or any school event between the months of April and October. And that is a super long time. So that's why you want to be prepared in advance. You want to have some nice handouts that are, like I said, attractive and not overly busy, because if it's overly busy and if it's just like a giant sheet of words and tons of information, people are just gonna be like, I don't have time for that. Like, it looks complicated and they're just not even going to try because people are busy, you know? So it's really important that you are presenting materials in an approachable way. So you just kind of want to think about like how businesses do things, because really you kind of are a business, and we're a very fun business, but we are definitely a business. And so you want to look at maybe what you get from other marketing, like other marketing materials. So like, I'm just talking off the top of my head because this is a subject I'm so passionate about, so I don't have to do a whole lot of prep. So forgive this really bad example, but like just think of something that somebody was trying to get you involved with. They are not going to give you like a huge pamphlet from the get-go, right? They're going to do like a little teaser postcard, and it's just going to have some information about how it benefits, you know, whoever you're sending it to get involved or to take action or something. So you're going to just want to seed things and make it little. And then when someone expresses an interest, then that's when you're going to give them a little bit more information. You're not going to deluge them with a whole bunch of information, but you're just going to keep on giving them more and more information. The other thing you're going to need to do as the membership chair is to follow up. Like, if you just ask one time, you're only going to get a very small portion of people to take action. So if you're just asking one time, you're probably just going to get the diehard PTO people or the people that are already on the board who must be members in order to have the elected or appointed position that they have. So you need to go above and beyond that and really send home reminders, and because people are not seeing every single thing that comes home. In the grades 4 to 6 building, my PTO had a huge, not a huge issue, but like it just came to light that kids weren't even taking home flyers. They were just assuming their parents weren't interested and they were ditching them. And this even happened to one of our very involved parents. And she's like, I didn't even see that. The kids were just trashing the flyers. So she had to have a talk with them and be like, yo, I need to see it. Even if you don't think I'm interested, like, let me at least see it. So you might want to consider not sending it home just in a way where kids have access to it, like maybe an email, on you're going to put it on your social media channels. I think that asking people to join at least once a month, especially after like the back to school time, when you're of course going to want to be asking more, but if you ask at least once a month, that's like the bare minimum that you need to be doing. But constantly just be open and welcoming and be ready to answer people's questions. A lot of times I like to address some of the objections that people have. So for example, like when people are new, I'm just thinking of an example because sometimes I'm like, I don't think I'm a stand-up comedian, but sometimes I can be kind of funny. And so I like to say things that catch people off guard because then I think they actually pay attention. And I think that sometimes when you're at the back to school events and you're staying at the membership table or the PTA membership table and people are like, I really don't want to go past it. But a good idea is to like position your table in a place where they have to go past so that they have to interact with you. Like I always like to say things that catch people off guard because then they're like, wait, what? What did you just say? And so I remember a couple times, like I say things that are kind of outrageous, I gotta say, but they're funny. but they'll be like, well, what's involved? And I'll say, well, there's $5 and then there's a requirement to donate blood, once a month. And like, that's when people like look at me and they're like, serious? And I'm like, no, I'm just joking. I'm just trying to see if you're paying attention. And I always get a chuckle, but it comes off way funnier than what I just described here. You'll just have to trust me on that. And, so yeah, I think just be genuine about your enthusiasm and that'll really translate through a lot. Um, the other thing I wanted to mention is that the very best membership chairs don't actually shoulder the burden of the job all by themselves. They actively get other officers and committee chairs involved in the process. And you can do that by just letting everybody know that they, by virtue of being elected or appointed into a leadership position with your group, they are the face of your group. They're not the only face, but they are the face of your group, and that they are like ambassadors and should be ready to field questions and not answer concerns that come to them, but pass those along to the president and the executive board, but certainly should be out there and ready to be just really responsive to parents who have like questions or want more information. But I think that it kind of makes sense for everybody to be doing this, because if there's only one person trying to recruit all of the members, that's way too much work. And there should be buy-in from the other officers and committee chairs, because they should recognize that if there are new members, that means more helpers, which means less work overall. Because, right, like lighter hands make for less work, or I forget that saying, but you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, make sure that everybody's on board and make sure that people have the information that they need. So if you are setting up a membership table at the Meet the Teacher parent night, make sure that the other people who are at the table with you know what the drill is, know what events are coming up so they can pitch those. And if you lead with what the benefit is to the students, that's usually how you hook kids. Because I know even like, that's how you hook parents for everything, man, because they really don't care about themselves. Well, they do, but they care about their kids more. So like, I will do all sorts of things just because I know it'll make my kids happy. Like I will buy junkety junk from China to support the fundraiser so that my kid can get in a limo ride and go to McDonald's, because that was the big incentive that year. And that worked on me, made my kid happy. We do not eat McDonald's, so it was a kind of big deal for him. Let me just tell you. So think of things like that, like things that you're just like, oh, I don't necessarily want to do this myself, but I know my kid's going to be really happy and this is going to make their day or week or year, whatever it is, depending on whatever you have going on in your PTO. But that's the angle I would take. And then, like I said, it's really good to have everything prepared ahead of time, like for the flyers and the letters and all of that good stuff jazz, because if you leave it to right before the event, you're just going to be scrambling and it's not going to be as quality of a communication as if you would prepare in advance. So if you need a really huge head start on preparing your new member welcome packet, or any of the flyers to get new members, or letters to send home at the beginning of the year from the president, or even a president's speech, I have done a lot of the work already for you, and I've put a whole bunch of resources into the membership master plan. And this whole resource bundle came about because I was just seeing people like saying like, how do I word this, or how do I convince people to join, or like, what are some good reasons beyond because you just should. I've really thought about all of the different reasons, and I've put everything together for you into editable templates. So the membership master plan comes with a strategy guide that you can adapt, like any group can adapt to suit their needs. And it kind of is based on like what I was just telling you, but then it goes into like much deeper and different strategies about like, these are the events that you should have that really draw families in and make them want to be involved because they want to see those activities continue. And then, like I said, there's a welcome packet that I just added in this last iteration, and I'm really excited about it because just when I have thought about the process of like coming up with a welcome packet, it's like, oh my gosh, what even needs to be in the welcome packet? Like, you don't want to kill a tree or a forest, so you want to make it approachable, but you don't want to give too little information. Like, you can't just do like a one sheeter. That's probably not enough. I figured it all out for you, and it is in the kit. And so, what I am also doing to try and encourage you to get going on this right now is I have put the kit on sale for 20% off. So you can grab the entire bundle. I think there's like 12 or more editable templates plus a 31-page strategy guide for just $24. So it's super affordable for your group. It's definitely a reimbursable expense, so you shouldn't have to bear the cost by yourself. Definitely come out of your budget. But if you, like I said, if you need a head start with things, I highly recommend that kit. Yeah, I love it, and the other people who have gotten it really enjoy having everything done for them, because the one thing you can't get more of in life is time. And so this kit really leapfrogs you way past where you from the starting point, and you can just adjust. All of the wording is customizable, so you can change it if you want, but it's already done for you. It's not just like, there aren't placeholder words. It's legit what I would send out and what I have sent out to families when I've been in charge of things for membership. And so you can add your school colors, you can add your logo and make it look really custom, so it won't look boilerplate at all, but it can look really custom and really nice. So again, you can grab that whole resource bundle at ptoanswers.com/membership-master-plan. I have dropped a link in the description of this video, so you can go ahead and grab that. And remember to use code MEMBERS, all capital letters, by midnight this Friday, February 19th, to grab that for just $24. So I hope this video has been super helpful for you. And let me sneak ahead a peek for next week. Ooh, next week is also another good topic. We're going to be talking about the top 10 do's and don'ts for PTOs. And you know, I have a lot of thoughts, so that's going to be a really good one. So I hope you will join me for that video, and I hope you have a great week, and I will talk to you again real soon. Bye-bye.